this is very key to me as a person. A lot of people say, you trust too much. And I said, I'd rather trust, believe the truth, and not trust. Take the risk of trust. Allow yourself to trust. When we can't trust, not being able to trust is one of the reasons it's so difficult for us to trust God. Hello, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time, welcome. Please remember to subscribe and hit the notification button so that when we drop the stitching videos, you're notified and you don't miss out. If you're returning, welcome and thank you for always being with me. Now, throughout the month of April, we've been talking about developing and staying and making use of the right mindsets, basically, for parenting. So it's basically having the right mindset for parenting, particularly when we're parenting teenage boys and young adults, because sometimes things will want to go south, but how we can develop the right mindset, the right attitude. And one of our anchor scripture is been Philippians 4:8, that says, upon the things that are true, praiseworthy, noble, good reports, excellent, think on these things. So today, being the last Monday of the month of April, to wrap it up, I want to talk about, how we can develop the right mindset. Tips, because sometimes it's easy to say, upon these things, think on that. But what are the practical ways that we can develop this mindset? But before we go into that, I want to talk about two types of mindsets that I've come to realize. And one is the fixed mindset. The fixed mindset is a dangerous zone to be. And that's the kind of mindset that tells you, I can't do anything about it. It's who I am. That's how I am wired. It's my personality and all of that. You're not open to change. Or if it works for one, it doesn't mean it will work for me. Fixed mindset. I remember when I was growing up, and I can't remember what we were talking to my dad about, and he said, I'm in my 50s, and that's me. You have to learn to deal with me because I can't change. And I think it was either me or my younger sister that says, Dad, you will change. You can change if you want to, because you will change if you want to, because you can. And, it went into a bit of argument, but I'm so grateful to God that over the years, as we grew up, we saw my dad evolve, to the kind of parents, and I have so beautiful memories about my dad and how he raised us. So having a fixed mindset is a danger zone. But there is this other one that I love, and I always encourage parents to imbibe, which is the learning mindset, the growth mindset. So the learning mindset adapts to change. They gain from learning. They're conscious and they want to learn so that they can grow. They're the ones who learn from their own experiences and even other people's experiences. And they are the ones who are open to feedback and growth. And that's like a safe place to be. Because if we are meant to be fixed, we won't come into this world as children that grow. So there is always that room for growth. And remember, I said growth, learning from my own experience, your experiences, and even other people's experiences. It's one of the attributes of somebody with a growth or learning mindset. So what are the tips for developing a positive mindset for yourself and even as a parent? And one of the tips I've got here is the tip that says how to focus on the positive. A lot of things will happen. Tell me about it. In fact, as we speak, if I have to be honest with you, I am going through one right now. But I am focusing on the positive, and I am learning to learn from every experience, from everything that is happening. And that takes me to the next one that says, Be grateful. Learn to be grateful. Things will happen. And I always say that there's some people who are begging to even get pregnant, crying to have the child, praying for the child to grow. And then you have all of that. I've mentioned this before, that my mom would say, when my children were younger, and I would say, oh, they're scattering the house. My mom would say, leave them. And be grateful that you have somebody to scatter the house. Then I used to wonder, hello. But now I see what she means. I see what she's saying, because they are all grown. And how I leave the house is why I miss it. Scattered, tidy, clean, unclean. That's how I miss it. So be grateful for every step of the way. Be grateful for the journey. Be grateful for the times you didn't know to do it right, and how you're learning to do it right. I said it to my son, I think 2 weeks ago, when we were talking about something that he said, oh, we're talking about something, and he pointed out something that I did when they were quite young, and I said, wow, I can't believe I did that. And if somebody would ask me, I'll say, I'll never do that. But I'm grateful that you were here today to be able to talk about it, and I'm sorry, but I am thankful for that season of my life and how I have grown and learned to do better. So be grateful for those seasons. And like, one other thing is, practice mindfulness. A lot of us are absent-minded. A lot of us are absent in our own life. When you practice mindfulness, I had to learn this. Thank God for a boot camp I attended with Bukola Williams. I had to learn to practice mindfulness, to be present in my life and be present by time. And so I always say that things do not happen to me for happen's sake. No, they happen, and I am aware of what happens, and the ones that I'm quote and unquote not aware of or can't control, I learn from them. So practice mindfulness, and as much as possible, lead yourself. I'm saying lead yourself because a lot of us, we leave leading ourselves to leading others, to wanting to lead our children, wanting to lead the people around us, but we forget about ourselves, we forget about developing ourselves. So lead yourself so that you can lead others. Also, have strategies that you can put in place so that they're handy for you to action, and then you can begin to grow on yourself. I always love the strategy thing. What are your strategies? What's your strategy as a parent? What's your strategy for personal development? What's your strategy for career? What's your strategy for yourself, for your home, for your marriage? Have the strategy in place. Know what you want. Have a goal. Have an end result. There is this thing we say that have a goal, have an end result, and then go back to the beginning and walk your way towards that goal. And that's you having a strategy, having an end goal that you're walking towards. Enough of waking up and just allowing things happen. What's your goal? What's your strategy for yourself today, and even for your children, for your spouse, for your home? What's the strategy? What's the plan for today? And also, I'm going to just run through some 10 things that I've written down. Maybe everyday quick tips for you that you can imbibe and think about. Remember, I talked about mindfulness every day earlier on. These 10 strategies are things you can embrace, or 10 tips, further tips are things, quick tips you can embrace in being a positive and a parent who imbibes positive mindset, or a positive parent. And that's one of them, is be original. Now, we're in the days of social media. It is what it is. A lot of us, there's so many things we do, so many, Oh God, I don't want to go into that. So many things we see out there that we judge ourselves by. And there was a day I saw a reel on Instagram, and I showed it to my husband. And this reel was talking about somebody who was getting ready to do a reel for exercise, and how the woman's bombs were, you know, set and okay. And they showed the reel of where she was tucking some pads into her backside, you know, to make it look very shapy and nice. And then after that, she started the exercise. And I was so upset. And I was saying to my husband, like, some young people will watch this and lose confidence in themselves, self-esteem, self-pride. Be original. I am what I am. I am who I am. And I'm work in progress. I am growing. I'm not a finished product. But on the journey to that growth, on my journey of growth, I am who I am. And I'm proud. I'm grateful for who I am. Also, embrace the curves of imperfection. Now, this is why I say that you deal with it as they come and move to the next. Don't sit down there like Samson did and said, Lord, kill me. Let me die with this problem. Let me die with these challenges. No, embrace the curves, because the curves will keep coming. There is no straight path in life. I have come to realize that. You go through one, and by the time you get into that point, you're realizing, oh, another curve, another curve. That's life. And we need to master the act of embracing these curves, enjoying the curves as they come. Wake up each day with a goal and an objective, a plan to embrace the curve, on how you're going to embrace the curve and live your best life per day. Also, be patient. Growth is a journey, and it requires patience. Be patient. I have taught you, be patient. One of my boys said to me, Mom, you have taught us well. Now, be open to seeing the results of what you have taught us. And you know what I said to myself after that? I said, the fact that I've taught them well doesn't mean they will not make mistakes. They will make mistakes. In fact, mistakes are evidences that we have taught them well. Because a mistake is something you do that you know you shouldn't do in error. If it is not a mistake, if you do something wrong and it's not a mistake, that means it's you. So, mistakes are evidences of the right teaching, that something is inside of them. So, be patient with the growth process. Be open to change. We talked about that earlier when we were talking about fixed mindset and the growth mindset. Be open to change. I did it this way, it didn't work, I'm going to try it the other way. I did it that way, it didn't work, I'm going to try it the other way. I'm going to learn, and then believe in the process, which is very close to being patient. Believe in the process. It's going to work, except you're not doing something. Except you're not being strategic, except you're not being mindful, except you're not being present, except you're not doing something that could result in something positive. If you are, believe in the process. It does work. That's the truth. Also, listen to feedback. I do this thing a lot, and I'm sure we all do it, not even just me. Getting feedback at work, and then, using the feedback to improve ourselves and do better. And when I'm leaving a contract, there's this thing I do that I have a feedback form, and I'll send out to my colleagues to give me feedback. And you know what? This thing has worked. It has helped me develop myself professionally and even as a person. Next one is take the risk of trust. Now, this is very key to me as a person. A lot of people say, you trust so much. And I said, I'd rather trust, believe the truth, and not trust. Take the risk of trust. Allow yourself to trust. When we can't trust, what not being able to trust is one of the reasons it's so difficult for us to trust God. Trust what you have done. Trust your effort. Believe God. Trust God. And live happily. Live happily. Live life. I'm not going to go into that so much. Live life with the people you love. Enjoy your children. Enjoy your family. Live life. Be in tune with the Spirit. One day I will tell a story or tell a few stories of how being in tune with the Spirit has saved me, saved my children, and is still saving us. We're not there yet, but being in tune with the Spirit, ask the Spirit by time. One prayer I always pray that my children wonder why I pray the prayer is, Lord, search me, search my home, search my children, and expose anything that we need to deal with. Excuse me. And when I pray that prayer, sometimes I'm so afraid to pray the prayer, but I still do. And when I pray it, God reveals. Something will just explode. Something will just open up. Maybe something they are getting into. Something they are doing. Something they are trying. Or even me. Something will just open up. And God will help us deal with it. Lastly, value your relationships. Value your parents, your families. Value your parents, your extended family, your immediate family. Value yourself. Have a relationship with yourself. Because what you don't have, you can't give. Value your relationships. I hope this tips has helped you. Even if it is a 1, 2, or 3, you can pick from all of these things. Begin to pick them and work on them one after the other, and you will see great changes. Thank you so much for staying with me today. I love you.